Okay, here we go. Fanfiction Theater, Venom's new beginning. He's starting to get the feel of this new village, by God, and he went out there and he beat the shit out of a drunk abuser. He's really feeling himself now. Now he can get the plot moving anywhere but here. Let's see if it happens. If you have questions, comments, complaints, or concerns, or fanfics to submit to us for us to read, or fan art, you can send all of that and more to fanficnight@orderoftheleague.com. This is Fanfiction Theater, a celebration of naive writing in all of its foibles, flaws, and unintentional hilarity. Come on, let's give it up! Let's give it up!
I'm calling the police!
We should be on chapter 4, though, don't you think? Because chapter 3 is the one with, since when did you ever think, you stupid whore?
It wasn't even Pikachu saying it.
I know.
I expect it from Pikachu. But yeah, if you're ready, I'm going to grab some more water. So I'll be right
Okay.
We're ready for you to do that.
Should I start or wait for you to come back?
I bet I can get back in time for my line. Let's
All
try
right.
it.
Chapter 4, morning broke and Eddie was already up.
No.
For water retrieval, what are you doing?
Chapter 4.
Okay.
Morning broke and Eddie was already up. Even before he was brought to Arendelle, he had a routine of working out every morning. Once he settled into the castle, he was able to get his hands on some weights that he found in the marketplace downtown, and he utilized them well. He also happened to
rock.
If you know what I mean. What weights would be enough to work out Venom?
It's too
if
steer
he's actually
that
from
he
the
put
island,
he is a normal human. He has the Venom symbiote in
Right.
him.
And
So
he
he would
apparently
be,
bothers to
Okay.
work out his human muscles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he wants to be big and buff. He's a total, dude bro guy.
Gotcha.
He also happened to have an MP3 player with him that he kept in his jeans pocket in his human form. As opposed to the jeans pocket in his Venom form.
Yeah,
A whole
where is
different
it when he's
assortment
in
of
his
things in
Venom
there.
form?
Venom wears cutoffs, right?
He's a Daisy Dukes type of person. Also, and lest you think that's ridiculous, also thanks to his powers, he was able to charge his MP3 player without electricity, and so it would literally last forever.
What?
What?
Surely
This
thought
shouldn't
that
be
Not
last
how the
forever.
symbiote works at all.
Unfortunately, his playlist was about 23 minutes, but
It was mostly Coldplay. As he lifted his weights, his heavy metal music blasted from his earphones, further motivating him. Due to his superhuman strength, he was benching 800 pounds and not even breaking a sweat.
So he's working out as Venom. Okay.
Yeah.
So if Venom sweats, does he lose the symbiote? Is it?
I don't know.
Also, does he seriously have two 400-pound weights that he bought? Nobody.
It was a good harvest this year.
Yeah,
Nothing.
No, he just found weights.
They have a whole musical number where they're cutting the weights out of the iron thing and
Oh, yeah,
I
stuffing
would
them
love
around.
that.
that was
I'm
the original
explaining.
opening.
Yeah, 400 pounds worth of ice weights. That'd be funny.
Yeah. 99, 100.
Actually, two.
He then sensed someone was knocking on the door.
Yeah, I bet.
Wait,
With
here's
his-
it.
Oh,
They're
fire
doing
sale.
99, 100. Yeah, who is it?
and sat up in time to see Elsa walk in. He quickly jumped up and yanked his earphones out and greeted her.
No.
And again, he was in Venom form, right?
He's Venom.
The author has taken some liberties.
Okay.
They did point that out. So,
It is his favorite
Morning.
hero. I mean,
Good morning.
to which Elsa smiled and returned the greeting.
good morning, Eddie. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Eddie then shook his head and assured her, saying,
Not at all. I just finished up. What can I do for you, Your Highness? Oh, crap. I mean, Elsa?
She walked further into the room and sat on the edge of his bed and began to speak.
Well, we were going to go down to town this afternoon, and I was wondering if you wanted to come with us.
Eddie instantly replied.
Nothing would make me happier than to go with you.
When he said that, Elsa blushed and smiled.
Great. we were going to leave in an hour.
She then stood up and walked to the door. As she was leaving, Eddie quickly spoke up.
Elsa.
She turned around as he spoke.
I was wondering if maybe at one point if, you and I could go and do our own thing. You know, just you and me, I mean.
He asked her. Wow, this author is like, when it's dialogue, who needs a comma, really? Elsa could tell he was nervous when he asked her that. She really could tell he liked her, maybe more than like, and she loved how nervous he got. She always thought it was cute when he tried to play it cool, but his nervousness was too evident. She was sure her next answer made his day.
That sounds great to me.
It was then she smiled and took her leave. When she was gone, Eddie got ready for the day. Either this is going to be a very good day or a crappy one. All right.
Sure. Okay.
That covers your bases.
Either way, Elsa needs to and will learn the truth. So
His Play It Safe brand fortune cookie said that. It's either going to be a crappy day or a really good one, or maybe something in between.
So I better pack my
Your
joint.
lucky numbers are 1 through 100.
As far as he's concerned, she deserves to know. Suddenly, we were present tense there for a second. Not sure. Okay. Not too long after that.
That's the narrator stepping in front of the camera. As far as he's concerned,
It's Quentin
Hey, you
Tarantino.
Yeah, now he's
suddenly.
Rod Serling all of a sudden.
That's why
See,
this chapter is called She Deserves to Know.
Now, see, he's a symbiote, right? He's gonna attack shit, okay? You just gotta hold in there and wait for me, all right?
Not too long after that, he made his way down and saw that the group was all there. Looking up and noticing him, Kristoff said,
Oh, good, you made it.
just sparkling dialogue. To which Eddie replied,
Of course, I wouldn't miss it for the world.
The group then left the castle and made their way into town. They eventually made it down to the marketplace and began to look around. Eventually, Elsa... Everything is eventually. It's like eventually the sun burned out and everyone died. But
eventually we all make it down to the marketplace.
Right.
eventually, Elsa and Anna went to some shop that, in Kristoff's words, was too girly for his taste. And so he, Eddie, Olaf...
So Kristoff walked into the shop and said, this shop was too girly for his taste.
Right.
Arendelle has like a Bath and Body Works.
Sure.
Yeah, next to a GNC and then a
Aeropostale.
place that sells Bowflexes, apparently.
And tragically, an MP3 repair store going out of business.
And so he, Eddie, Olaf, and Sven waited outside and hung around for a few minutes. Eventually, Eddie managed to excuse himself to wander into a nearby shop.
Excuse ourselves.
I am so charmed by how this author has still not figured out that wander is a different word than wonder.
So he thought the Wonder Years was about some nomad, right?
Little did everyone know. Eddie had been playing... I love that that's just its own little thought there. Little did everyone know.
Everyone knew.
Everyone's done, period.
Eddie had been planning on getting Elsa a nice gift. Oh, good. Not a shitty gift. Good job, Eddie. Since it was around Christmas time, that gave him the perfect opportunity, and so he took his chance to break away from the group for a few minutes to find something. As he walked into the shop, he heard the sound of a woman's voice yelling, all I got out of that was, that's enough.
Yeah, it cut out. It was too louder.
It's you, just in case anyone actually wants to know what was said.
Meanwhile, Elsa and Anna were still looking around in the same store.
Eventually, meanwhile,
Meanwhile, a few feet away.
You don't want to miss a minute of this shopping.
As they grazed through items on one of the shelves.
Just chewing on stuff.
by the way, it's a Shaun the Sheep crossover now.
Ooh, okay. All right. Okay. Hell, I lost my place. Nice gift.
Yeah, picture Anna going suddenly Ren and Stimpy and chewing on the.
As they.
Uh-oh. I don't hear anything now.
A couple of seconds went by before Elsa answered.
I don't know.
She smiled and added,
I love hanging out with him, and he truly is a wonderful guy.
Anna giggled and teased.
Just say it. You're in love, aren't you?
As soon as she said that, Elsa blushed and shushed her sister playfully so she wouldn't attract any attention.
Oh, blush and shush you. Give her the old blush and
The old
shush.
blush and shush.
How are they not attracting attention? She's the queen.
And they're grazing
And
through
she's
items.
eating a shelf.
Okay.
I really care about him. Maybe more than care.
She then sighed and said,
I just can sense there's more to him under the surface than what meets the eye. I wonder. I would just wish I knew what he is hiding.
It was then Eddie's words echoed in her head from the night they first met.
I'm really no hero. One good deed can't redeem somebody like me.
Wait, what
Eddie
was the good deed? Breaking the wife beater's ribs?
No, he got rid of all the guys who attacked.
The bandit. I'm sorry, that was several ago.
They talk. Okay, we need to go back. We need to go back and remind him that he beat up bandits and it was amazing.
Oh,
He was like a predator attacking prey. All right. Eddie Brock was at a loss for words as he saw who it was. The woman he rescued last night was the store owner, and she recognized him.
It's really you.
She jumped over the counter and hugged him. Eddie Brock really couldn't believe what was happening. This woman was oh my God, I used the semicolon correctly. This woman was a stranger, and she saw his true form, yet here she was grateful and hugging him. The woman's words were coming out rapidly like a floodgate.
Like a floodgate itself.
Yeah, a floodgate.
Oh, like a floodgate on the front of the flood as it breaks off. I knew you'd be back. I knew it. Thank you for everything you've done for me last night.
She then let go and
lady, please. My girlfriend's over there.
She then let go and backed up a few feet and continued.
Enough for a single mother like me without an abusive drunk like Barry ruining mine and my son's lives.
Eddie then replied,
Yeah, no problem. I just kind of snapped when I saw him doing all that crap. What are you doing with a loser like that anyway?
The mother quickly corrected.
Was doing. After you saved me last night, I went inside and threw all of his stuff
That was
into
past tense.
and washed my hands of him for good.
She then added,
Like I said, it's tough out there for a single mother. A couple of months ago,
And
he
for a
came into
pimp.
my life.
yeah.
Well, he's the pimp. A couple of months ago, he came into my life and was really nice to me, promising he'd take care of me.
She gave a bleak smile and then continued.
Out of sheer stupidity and loneliness, I let him live with me, and at first he was nice, but as time went on, he showed his true colors. Any feelings I had for him died not too long after that, but him being the way he was, I was just too scared to break it off with him.
When she finished speaking, a small boy around the age of 8 walked into the room.
Mommy, can I go play outside?
She then wrapped her arms around the little boy and pulled him into an embrace and then said,
Sure, just stay where I can see you, okay? Of course, my little Billy here is assaulting all of the kids in the neighborhood, and you're his hero now. And well,
He's covering himself in oil and throwing it at people.
Crude oil. Yeah.
Yeah.
When he was gone, Eddie said,
I presume that's the son you were talking about.
she nodded and said,
Oh, that's my new boyfriend.
Yes. Him wrongly, sir.
yes, having him as a son is one of the few things I've done right in this life. I wasn't always going to have him as a son. I was going to have him as a dinner, but I'm glad that I...
She then went back behind the counter and motioned him to come closer.
Look, I really appreciate everything you've done, and to show my gratitude, whatever you want in my store is free. I don't just mean this once, either. From now on, if you want something, it's yours.
I do mean anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I can understand why this lady doesn't make very good decisions.
Well, you know what?
Wait, you can bench press my store.
Well, I mean, Eddie's got a pretty good buy-in to a small business operation here. And just
yeah.
Stock options.
Upon hearing this, Eddie grinned and said,
Well, now that you bring it up.
He then pointed at something under the glass counter. A beautiful silver necklace complete with an amazing sapphire jewel at the center of it. It matched Elsa's personality perfectly. What? A few, because it's able to shoot ice out of it? Whatever, okay.
Also, this is probably the most expensive thing in her store. This is
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
like
The priceless
this is her
jewel there.
overhead.
What a jewel!
He didn't even hesitate. Like, no, man, I did this just to be nice.
Oh, wow. In that case, the cash register.
Exactly right.
They did promise, so
A few minutes later, he
Hold
bid
on,
the
man.
weeping single mother a good day. She's not really weeping.
Yeah.
He bid the single mother good day and left with Elsa's gift. As he saw that Elsa and Anna had rejoined the group, he quickly stuffed her gift into his pocket. Seeing that he was back, Elsa's eyes lit up.
There you are, Eddie. We were beginning to worry you weren't coming back.
Eddie then quickly replied,
I'd have to be crazy to ditch y'all.
They then went to the food court and ate lunch. About half an hour later, Eddie made his move. Oh, he moved on her like a bitch.
Hey, Elsa, do you want to go take a walk with me?
Eddie.
When he asked her that, Elsa's heart skipped a beat.
The dugout, right? If I know my sports innuendo correctly? That's like...
what?
That's what a walk is, right?
Sure.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
The water boy just brought him a fucking Whopper? I don't know.
If you know what I mean.
So, oh yeah,
This is
yeah.
it. The walk.
She had been looking. Is my shortstop ready? She had been looking forward to this moment all day, and it was finally here. She quickly stood up and said,
Yes, I would love to.
As the two left the table, Anna and Kristoff looked at each other and smiled, for they knew what was happening. The
Your
other two
Bible
were
verse.
leaving the table.
We know what walks are.
Eddie offered Elsa his arm to escort her, to which she accepted.
This courtship, though, they went to the food court and just for a half an hour ate in silence. And then eventually he was like, do you want to go on a walk with me? This is it. The walk.
With their bellies full of Sbarro.
You'd think they wouldn't need to go to the food court at all after all the shelves they've had.
They walked a block and rounded a corner and sat on a bench overlooking the bay. The sea breeze gently blew through Elsa's hair, which in Eddie's eyes made her look even more gorgeous. It was then Eddie reached for her hand and gently grabbed it.
What?
Later.
Gently he grasped at it.
Everything felt so right, he never wanted the moment to end.
Tell her the truth.
A voice in his head screamed. Eddie's smile disappeared, which of course Elsa noticed.
Eddie, what's wrong? Was it something I've done?
I'm sorry. To which Eddie quickly assured her,
Oh, no, not at all. It's not you at all. In fact, you're perfect.
He then gently rested his palm on the side of her face, causing a smile to return.
He gently
He quickly,
slapped her.
he quickly snapped back into reality and said,
Elsa, there's something you need to know. Look, I understand there's things you want to know about me, and you have a right to know, especially now. I wanted to tell you so bad from the beginning, but
steady now?
I'm afraid that you.
Eddie, please, I want to know, and whatever it is, we can work through it. I see you really care about me, and I feel the same about you.
Using her free hand, she grabbed Eddie's other one, showing her sincerity. It was then Eddie Brock attempted to tell her the truth.
You touched my other one.
Oh, I love the it was thens.
Yeah.
It was about that time Eddie Brock.
Around that time, the old Eddie Brock boys.
Everything I've told you about myself is true. It's just that.
Before he could finish his sentence, his sixth sense picked up on an incoming object flying towards him and Elsa, which caused him to spring into action. He managed to leap up with supernatural speed and catch an incoming sleigh that was literally flying towards them.
Not today, Santa!
Using his superhuman strength, he threw the sleigh out of the way. Eddie Brock knew exactly who was responsible, and possibly said it out loud. There's half of
the Grinch.
No,
Carnage.
Santa's colors are red. Santa being Carnage would be awesome.
She's a little out of your league, don't you think, Eddie boy?
Carnage mocked as he jumped down a few feet in front of Eddie.
Leave her alone, Carnage. Our fight doesn't concern her.
Eddie sternly said, which caused Carnage to laugh and reply,
I'm afraid it does, Eddie. Or should I say, Venom.
Carnage looked over and saw the fear and confusion on Elsa's face.
What's the matter, Your Highness? Did Loverboy here not tell you the truth about who he really is?
He then let out a high-pitched evil laugh and exclaimed,
I'm about to Bugs Life / Chicken Run you.
Well, I'll show you then.
He then formed his arm into a blade and lunged at Eddie with it. Eddie then grabbed his arm and used Carnage's momentum to slam him to the ground with a loud boom!
Gently.
Meanwhile, all the commotion had drawn a huge crowd of people, including Kristoff,
but not limited to
Kristoff, Anna, Olaf, and Sven. Okay. Eddie looked over at Elsa, who was in a state of complete shock at what she'd seen and heard. He then looked into her eyes with an apologetic expression and then took a step towards Carnage, who was getting back up on his feet to make his next move. It was then Eddie Brock knew what he had to do. He had to become the monster that he was afraid Elsa would hate. He turned into his true form. Venom.
Okay, Venom isn't really his true form. This is a symbiote that is attached to him.
He turned into his true form.
The author has taken some liberties. For the love of God. I like the fact that Carnage either... Okay, so did Carnage try to run into them riding a sleigh? Or did he throw a sleigh at them?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. That's another piece of art I'm going to draw is...
He has a bandolero and there's like 6 sleighs across his chest.
What I'm just wondering is, okay, so Carnage knows about Eddie Brock and Elsa, which means that Carnage has been watching.
He's just been like waiting for the perfect moment. He's just waiting for the perfect line to interrupt.
He was hoping somebody would say, "Oh, you slay me."